Standing for something and putting your interests aside to create safe spaces for the interests of other people sounds easy, right? Like spending 27 years in prison kind of thing. Totally easy. No! We have some of our African luminary heroes for you today. And trust me, this was not even an easy one because Africa has a lot of groundbreaking heroes. I mean, the likes of Nelson Mandela, Wole Soyinka, the list goes on. It is endless. So in summary, here we go. Felix Israel Domeno Kunoti Ahulu. What a spicy name! Is a professor of human genetics in the University of Cape Coast, Ghana. He's also a consultant physician, genetic counselor, and more in Harley Street, London. He can be addressed as a global authority on sickle cell disease and a world-class expert on sickle anemia. Having produced more than 200 publications, his value is universally accepted by medical practitioners and specialists. We're global! He is a recipient of outstanding awards, many of them. But what makes him an African hero?
Regarding myself, ever since I got the letter of the Vice Chancellor inviting me to receive an honorary Doctor of Science degree, one word has been uppermost in my head, and that word is gratitude.
Kunoti Ahulu outlined the genetic illness in his family generation by generation to as far back as 1670. He was born into a sickle cell family, and siblings with severe crisis paved his perception about the condition, a condition which he researched, outlined, and has passed down to medical practitioners and scientists. An African hero. Dora Nkem Akunyili.
The evil of fake drugs cannot be compared with any. But unfortunately, the world is not giving it enough attention.
Who served Nigeria as the Director General of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. She served NAFDAC for 7 years, and trust me, she's to be thanked for majority of our lives today, to be honest.
The leadership we get in future will be leaders that are trained abroad. And these people trained abroad, most of them cannot connect.
A strong feminist who believes that women are less corruptible than men. She revealed at NAFDAC, after taking the reins in 2001, that 70% of the drugs sold in Nigeria were counterfeit. Her legacy lives on remarkably, not just in Nigeria and West Africa's drug markets, but also in the empowerment of women, particularly in Africa, not just in the other room. Ameyo Adadevo is also on this list, the Ebola Savior. She's acknowledged with having contained and controlled a wider spread of the Ebola virus in Nigeria. And she did this by placing the patient zero under quarantine conditions, despite pressure from the Liberian government. Adadevo ensured that the Ebola virus did not spread any more than it already had. And that took impeccable courage and heroic effort. In layman words, she gave her life for the sake of others by preventing a national and even possibly global catastrophe. She gave herself an identity as the Ebola lady, an actual doctor, patriot, leader, and heroine. I stand.
We decided that we wanted to make sure that Ameyo's sacrifice would be turned into something positive. And we made our focus strengthening the healthcare system in Nigeria, because we can't wait for others to do it. You know, we can't sit back and wait for other people to do it. We want to work towards that goal and continue her legacy of saving lives.
One to remember, and for good. Paul Kagame, a Rwandan statesman. Kagame did not only save his country, Rwanda, from the world-famous ethnic genocide of 1994 with over 1 million deaths. He is also seen as Africa's metaphor for reconciliation and has earned Rwanda the title of Africa's biggest success story. What a title. In between the tussle and the external world influences in Rwanda at the time of the genocide, Kagame was still able to bring lasting peace and prosperity to his country.
In Rwanda, more than 90% of the population has insurance coverage. This has contributed to significant improvement in health outcomes.
No wonder he's called the metaphor for reconciliation. I guess if you have any disagreement you're thinking of ending or collapsing, you could pull a Kagame on it.
It doesn't make sense that our leaders cannot get themselves together to address problems affecting our people.
Kagame did an amazing job inspiring us African leaders to be able to bring peace and prosperity to our nations and our continent. And he didn't just inspire Africa, he inspired the whole world. A Nobel Peace Prize laureate, the 7th Secretary General of the United Nations, and the founding chair of the Kofi Annan Foundation, one of our biggest African heroes, Kofi Annan.
The world that I'm working to create is a world that should be of interest to all of us. I'm working to create a world that is stable, that is peaceful, where we as human beings realize that we cannot consume the resources of the world the way we are doing, as if there's no tomorrow.
Annan contained strong moral convictions, a careful judgment, and he portrayed that the seat of the Secretary General of the United Nations is very paramount to finding lasting solutions, guys, to some of the acute problems that we face in the international community. He called on member states of the United Nations to end poverty, improve education, and reduce HIV and AIDS. But this brought about the Kofi Doctrine, which basically states that sovereign states should allow the United Nations intervention on behalf of we, the people. He's a humanitarian.
We need to create a world that is equitable, that is stable, and a world where we bear in mind the needs of others and not only what we need immediately.
His stubborn optimism will continue to be of inspiration to the African people, the new generation, the United Nations, and the world at large. What do you stand for? 420, vigils, your village people, or the climax of a democratic progression of the vaudeville gubernatorial aspirants? What impacts do you have on your community? It all begins with one little step, guys. And that one step just might be subscribing to the Luminars. Subscribe, like, and share to your family and friends. The Luminars has come to an end today, but I will be back on our next episode.